Hello, it's me, Kalawale Oluyedun, and I'll be participating for the extra credit application for my color mixer code. So as you can see here, I have 3 boxes and a list of text right here telling me what to do. It starts out with red, green, then cyan, and as I click through the boxes, it'll change the color of the box, these 2 boxes that I click on, and the resulting color will be these 2 over here. So by changing it to blue and blue, it's blue on the right side. With blue and red, it turns magenta. Then I made both of them red, and then now that I've completed the first code, I have found how to make the color red. Now I have to make the color cyan. So by going to these colors more and more, I change this and this, and then I found cyan. Now I have to find blue. And I found blue, and it keeps on going on and on like that. So now going over to the code itself, so we can look at how I made this possible. I starting with the HTML, I constructed each box over here by linking in the JavaScript and having my color box 1 and color box 2 and mixed color box have all the same parameters, so the exact same distance from each other and shape and size. And then the color trigger is at the very right of all of them, and it starts out with this text right here. So this is how the page will start out, not with these colors. I think I moved it around a bit before, but generally I have these shapes and this text right here. Then going into the script, I start out with adding an event listener for the entire site with a DOM content loaded so that it'll load everything up initially and it will be all in working order. Then I create variables for each color: red, green, blue, cyan, yellow, and magenta. And then I create a wanted colors that looks at the array right here, which I will use later, I'll get back to. Then I created 3 different box variables, being for color box 1, 2, and the mixed color box back in the HTML. And then a variable for instructions, which is the text that's at the very right of all the boxes, and I call it the color checker. Then added event listeners to box 1 and 2 for the change color box 1 and 2 functions. And for both of them, essentially, I log whatever color I want them to be at first, so I would log box 1 to be the color red. And then if it is red and it goes to the color change event listener up here, it'll turn to green when it's red. Then if it's green, when I click it again, it'll go from green to blue. Then if it's blue, it'll go all the way back to red. And then part of that, there's also something called change mixed color box, which will come into play a little bit later. And as I said, color box 2 is essentially the same, but I started out with green, so it's 2 different boxes at the beginning, so we know which one is which. Then again, I do that change mixed color box, and it all comes into this code right down here, where if box 1 is red, and if box 2 is also red, then the mixed color box will turn out red. And then, else if it's both green, then it'll be green as well. Then you can see that's the same with blue down here. Then if box 1 is red, and then box 2 is green, then the mixed color box will end up being yellow, which is kind of hard to see. Then this one is essentially the same, but to make it be green and blue, it'll turn out cyan. Then this much easier to see. If I have it be red in color box 1 and blue in color box 2, sorry, it's kind of hard to have it activate, then it'll turn out magenta. And then the last 3 are essentially just the exact same, but then like different orders of how it could happen. So now it's box 1 that's blue, and box 2 that's red, and then that also makes magenta, so it's the exact same mixing of colors, but it's making sure you can see it both ways instead of having it only be box 1 has to be red, and then box 2 has to be blue. So these last, so you just do the reverse order of all the other things. And then at the end of this code, it has a color checker, and then that is what influences the text once we do this function, where once it sees that it has a mixture of colors, it'll go into this, and then it'll tell sense it's seeing color 3, or as I established at the top here, it would be 0, 1, 2, 3 cyan, since color 3, since the wanted color is equal to 3, and then the background color, which was made here, ended up being cyan, it'll say that I found the color cyan, and I have to go to blue, aka color 2. And if that's blue and color 2 is 2, then it'll say that I found the mixture of blue when I mix both boxes up there too, and it'll tell me to find the color yellow, otherwise color 4. And I keep on going down and down the list until I get all the way down to this, when it kind of sleeps on itself. And then that's the end of the code itself. So if I were to determine something that was easy to do, this entire project was kind of hard to do in general, but I had some help from Garrett. So he helped me kind of figure out, like, I kind of knew the terminology of what to do, but I was kind of having trouble trying to figure out how to, like, make each box be identifiable by trying to find if I can do, like, a different set of coding that could, like, help me in this one. But anyways, I found what was too easy was to make the combination of colors be seen by just saying, yeah, I know what color is which and how they mix with each other, so that was easy to do. And then it just became a simple copy and paste for these two. And then it also seems, once he spelled it out to me a little bit more, I figured out how to, like, combine them and say, yes, this and this will make this. So I would say that once I actually knew how to, like, get the event listeners to work, pretty much was my main thing, get the boxes to actually recognize which thing is which, I would say doing all the color mixing was actually fairly simple. Something that I might have had trouble with, even with his help, was probably figuring out how to make the text different by saying, okay, how can I say it has to be equal this and this? What am I making each thing be equal to? Then I figured out it had to be like I pointed out up here. It had to be these colors, which I put in an array, then put in another variable to be able to be identifiable from that array, and then make that be equal to what I made up here. And that just made, that was the thing that I kind of ended up struggling with and needed a bit more help with. But once he spelled it out to me more and more, Garrett, he was really helpful with me on the majority of this project. I was able to finally get it all done. I wasn't on time, as I remember, but I was able to get it to actually be in a functional state, as you can see down here. And that's how it got to this point where I was able to just go through all the colors and say each different piece of text. If I were to change something about this code, I would say that it's kind of hard to tell which thing you're supposed to do at what time. Like, it says find cyan, so I know what to do to be able to find cyan. But the problem is, it's kind of a bit too, like, snappy. Not only is it kind of hard to tell, like, oh yeah, I got here. I may have, like, skipped it by accident and been like, oh, I have to find blue. I might have, like, accidentally, like, gone past it by accident. It's kind of too responsive. I need to have something like, maybe I could have inserted, like, a button, say, like, I have blue and red, but then it wouldn't change to magenta immediately. It would have to be saying, like, I had this and this, then I have to have, like, a button here, like, say a button, say, mix colors right here. I would click on a button, and then it would mix the two of these, and then it would say if it's the same as this, or it would still show this color, but then if it's not the same as the text there, it would say, I'm sorry, that is not the correct color mixture, or that's not the correct mixture of colors to make, say, yellow. When I made magenta by accident, it would say, please click through the boxes again to be able to find the correct color yellow. Then I would keep on going more and more and more until I found the color yellow, and then I would say, yes, that is correct. Now see if you can find the next one. So then it would be easier to tell if you're gonna write by actually, like, paying attention to the text itself, as well as making it so that it's not like just clicking through randomly and it'll just give you the answer automatically. It would be more actually like finding the mixture of colors yourself and just like doing it randomly with like pretty much no thought. So that's what I would have ended up changing about that. And then if I wanted to add something to this application, I would say, well, that, and I would also make it so that there's more, maybe make the text more, like, maybe not have like every single piece of text be, you found this, and it only changes like one color. Like, here, let me find, I found magenta and not find red. So it wouldn't just be like the exact same line. It's kind of hard to tell where it's like changing these things. I'd probably say like, you have found this thing, and I'd say like, congratulations, you have found this. Oh, I see you have also found this thing. Okay, now you can find this. So I'd probably change what the text looks like each time, so it's also easier to see it like that. Then add like a background to this. It doesn't mess with the colors that you see, but it's like more interesting than just just these three things, just like a blank back box. And I would add a button, like I said, and just some other bells and whistles to make it be more appealing. And maybe in the future I could like add something like different pictures to be like, if you combine these pictures, it'll show a different picture and be like, which two things would add into this? So it'd be something like that. So maybe it could be something along those lines or something. But in the end, that's what I was able to demo with this code. I hope this was good enough to see, and I hope that this was a good enough code to be able to qualify me for extra credit. I don't really have much else to say, so thank you for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you. Goodbye.